The greatest of all time for NFL fans, a legend known as the GOAT or GOAT, the living legend of New England Patriots with a record of 17 division wins, 14 advancements to the championship, 9 advancements to Super Bowl, and 6 wins over 19 seasons. He recently lifted his 7th Super Bowl trophy at the age of 43 as a member of the new team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Today, along with living legends like Michael Jordan from basketball, Babe Ruth from baseball, Wayne Gretzky from ice hockey, and Tiger Woods from golf, let's take a look at one of the greatest athletes in North American sports history, Tom Brady from 1-44. On August 3, 1977, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady was born in San Mateo, California. Tom Brady is the youngest out of the 4 siblings and has 3 older sisters. I guess that's why he has this mad physique, lol. San Mateo, where Tom Brady lived, was very close to San Francisco, so he naturally grew up as a fan of the San Francisco Niners. Because the 1980s was the era of Joe Montana, Brady looked up to him as the idol of quarterback. Back then, no one knew that Tom Brady, a young little fan of the great Montana, would later compete for the title of greatest player of all time. Who could have possibly known? Tom Brady played American football while attending Junipero Serra High School. When he first joined, he couldn't even play as a regular in the junior varsity or JV. However, he didn't give up. He worked hard and eventually got his chance to join the varsity team in the starting lineup in the junior year and remained so until the end of his senior year in high school. During his high school career, Brady achieved 3,700 yard pass and 30 pass downs with a 52% success rate and gained interest from Power 5 upon graduation. He and his father edited and sent the tapes of his games to big universities. The schools that showed interest in Brady were Berkeley, UCLA, University of South Carolina, University of Michigan, and University of Illinois. Brady's father thought that Berkeley was the best option to watch his son's games, but Brady chose the University of Michigan and left for Ann Arbor. Tom Brady doesn't have an outstanding physique compared to other American football players, but he also received a lot of attention for his talent in baseball during high school. He was a left-handed catcher and was known for his long hits. After graduating from high school, he was selected by the Montreal Expos, currently known as the Washington Nationals, in the 1995 MLB draft. He was also given a high-priced offer for someone who was selected quite late. However, unable to give up his passion for football, Tom Brady devotes himself after realizing that there were quite a few colleges that wanted him as a quarterback. Life as a quarterback at Michigan was not easy. Furthermore, there were 6 quarterbacks ahead of Brady. In other words, he had to beat the other 5 in order to play at the field. Then, he was assigned as a backup for Greasy in his first and second year. During this time, Brady nearly succeeded in taking Greasy's spot in the starting lineup through tons of hard work, but he was still not better than him due to his lack of experience. Brady's chances were even slimmer after Greasy won the national championship in 1997. Then, in 1998, Greasy became a pro player and Bradley finally got a spot in the starting lineup. This was the only year that Brady didn't have to fight tooth and nail for the starting lineup. He achieves 2,427 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions during the year. Brady won 10 of 11 games of the season, establishing himself as Michigan's first starter player. But then, in the following year, another ordeal awaited him. It was Drew Henson. Michigan recruited Drew Henson, a high school superstar, because they couldn't just leave this incredibly talented player hanging. So Michigan starts to focus more on Henson's talent rather than Brady's experience. Brady had to fight for the starting spot again in the 1999 season. The coach continued to think about whether to choose Brady or Henson. Then, he eventually decided to rotate the 2 players to determine who will be the better starter based on their condition and performance in each game. Brady was sent first as the starter and then was replaced by Henson in the second quarter. The player that performed better was sent as the quarterback during the second half. Because Tom Brady performed insanely well in the 6th season, this rotation ended after being used only for the first 5 matches. After falling behind by 17 points due to Henson's low performance, Michigan sent in Brady at the 3rd quarter with 3 minutes left. Brady threw 241 yards in 18 minutes, but unfortunately lost 31-34. However, he threw 307 yards against Illinois in the following week and eliminated Henson from the starting quarterback. After that, Brady announced that he would enter the 2000 NFL Draft. Since he showed everything in the college football league, everyone thought that he would easily become a pro. However, in 2000, Brady appears with a rather disappointing physique. This photo is also legendary in different ways. Brady had a build that seems unsuitable for sports and left a bad impression with his disappointing records. His record for a 40-yard dash is 5.28 seconds and 62 centimeters for vertical jump. Just for reference, this 40-yard dash record is the worst one yet. He was 194 centimeters tall and weighed 96 kilograms, so he had the height and the weight of a quarterback, but nothing else. Most likely due to these disappointing records, Brady wasn't even mentioned in the early draft. He couldn't do anything but wait patiently. Then, Brady was picked as New England's iconic 199th pick in the 6th round. But now, he's breaking the record as the greatest in 2000 when Brady just joined New England and met Kraft, the owner, for the first time. He said the following things while shaking his hand. "I will be the most valuable pick in team history." It's said that this is a false rumor, but regardless, it must have sounded ridiculous to Kraft at that time. Brady was the 4th quarterback in the early 2000 season. He was beaten by the starter Drew Bledsoe and other players like Freeze and Bishop. But late in the season, he made it to the 2nd starting position. And then the historic 2001 season came along. Bledsoe, who was a starter, suffered a sudden injury, giving Brady his first precious playing time. Brady, who was always ready, seized this opportunity and started with 1 win and 3 losses. He showed improvement every week and finished the season with 6 consecutive wins. This allowed New England to advance to the playoffs with an 11-win and 5-loss record. New England Patriots won against Oakland and Pittsburgh and advanced to face off against St. Louis in the Super Bowl. At that time, New England was the weakest out of all the teams, but thanks to Coach Belichick's excellent strategy, they managed to tie 17-17 with 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. Many expected the match to go overtime, but Belichick and Brady had a different idea. Brady, a second-year quarterback, went 31 yards into opponent's field in 1 minute, and Adam Vinatieri, the greatest kicker in NFL history, scored a 48-yard field goal, and the team earned its very first Super Bowl trophy. Brady, who was only 24 years old, was named Super Bowl MVP and became the youngest Super Bowl MVP in history. Wow, MVP at the age of 24. That's crazy. From then on, Brady's streak of success continued. Although the team didn't make it to the playoffs in 2002, his team had 12 consecutive wins during the regular season and won the Super Bowl in 2003. In the 2004, the team won the Super Bowl again and continued New England's legend. But after that, it took Brady quite a long time to win the next Super Bowl. The opportunity came 10 years later, during the 2014. Truth be told, the team was on the verge of losing the game. Then, Seattle pretty much throws the game by making a truly unsmart play, so New England takes the Super Bowl. Anyways, this was the point where Brady's second golden age began in his playing career. Starting in the 2016, he makes it to the Super Bowl for 3 consecutive seasons and won twice. He continues winning like he was born for this. He didn't show a notable performance in the 2018 Super Bowl, but he won his 6th Super Bowl, making him the best football player of all time. These achievements alone are enough to prove that he is the best quarterback and the best player in the NFL history. But furthermore, he was also the MVP in 3 regular seasons, made 17 playoff appearances, played 9 Super Bowl games, and got 6 wins. A single individual has a record that is difficult to achieve even as a team. He is truly the best player in history. At the age of 43, he moved to the new team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and lifted his 7th NFL Super Bowl trophy for the season of 2020. It looks like his golden age is not over yet. I will finish today's video with excitement of how long will he continue to break the record and when will another player break his insane record. Thank you.